Hey everyone, welcome back to Sthirvana. I'm Udit. Also, welcome back to another episode of Books I Like. Today we will be delving into the world of longevity and anti-aging with the book Lifespan by Dr. David Sinclair. So if you're intrigued by the prospect of living a longer and a healthier life, you're in the right place. As you can see by my hair, I'm definitely interested in learning about aging and the science behind it. So let's get started. Lifespan, Why We Age and Why We Don't Have to, is a great book by Dr. David Sinclair, like I mentioned. He's a renowned geneticist and a professor at Harvard. He has spent decades studying the biology of aging and believes that we can extend our lifespan and that we are actually very close to it. The book goes into the science behind aging, the contributors affecting aging, and some strategies to not only slow down but potentially reverse the aging process. While I will not go into every aspect of the book, I will discuss my 7 key takeaways from this book. So let's get started on that. The book starts by making the claim that aging is a disease. Now there's debate about whether or not that's actually true, but there are a significant number of people in both camps. Sinclair's main argument is that other diseases are nothing but a symptom of the disease of aging. Take Alzheimer's, for example. The people on the other side, though, counter-argue that aging affects everybody, so therefore it cannot be classified as a disease. The other point they make is that classifying it as a disease might lead to stigmatization of old people. Personally, I do see some merit in the argument that aging is a disease for 2 reasons. My first reason is that I do believe that some of the diseases are symptomatic of aging and nothing else. My other thought here is that, in today's world, it is diseases that get funding, and so it is important that we classify it as a disease so that we can understand aging in a better manner. So my second takeaway is that aging is really a loss of information in the epigenome. Now I will come back to what is the epigenome, but it is important to understand that traditionally it has been believed that DNA damage is the primary cause of aging. However, through cloning older animals to produce younger ones, it has been proven that DNA damage is not the cause of aging. Dr. Sinclair's theory is that information is stored in our bodies as digital and analog information. The digital information is the DNA, and the analog information is the epigenome, which is nothing but a system which activates certain genes and tells how certain cells should behave. So for example, hair cells know that they're hair cells, skin cells know that they're skin cells, heart cells know that they're heart cells, and so on. Over a period of time, the analog information degrades. The analogy that Dr. Sinclair uses is that of a DVD. So imagine that there are scratches on the DVD, right? Initially, these scratches do not affect the retrieval of the digital information, and in our body, the cells continue to behave the way they should. However, over the period of time, the scratches increase and the DVD becomes unusable. So in our body, over a period of time, as the information degrades, the cells lose their identity. This loss of identity in cells is the primary cause of aging. So if we can control the degradation of the analog information, we can control the process of aging. This brings me to my third key takeaway. Longevity genes such as sirtuins play an important role in the controlled degradation of this analog information. Sirtuins are a family of proteins that help with the metabolic regulation. They have 2 main functions. Firstly, they help reproduce cells in happy times, and secondly, they help with the repair of damaged DNA. However, this repair of damaged DNA only happens in the presence of another chemical called NAD, which degrades over time in our bodies. Thus, over a period of time, sirtuins function less efficiently and are overworked, thus causing cellular degradation, which, as I mentioned before, is just loss of analog information. The interesting thing, however, about these longevity genes is that they're triggered by biological stress. Therefore, Dr. Sinclair argues that if these genes can be triggered in a controlled manner, they can help with aging. This controlled activation of these longevity genes is known as hormesis, and helps with the repair of DNA without having these longevity genes being overworked. So how do we activate these longevity genes? These are all of my next key takeaways. The first one on the list is to control the amount of food that we intake, whether that's through calorie restriction or through intermittent fasting. Dr. Sinclair provides evidence in his book about human and animal studies highlighting how these dietary interventions can activate cellular repair processes and promote a longer and healthier life. From what I understand, this happens because the body infers the restricted calories as reduced resources and goes into a survival mode, which is the kind of positive stress or hormesis that is needed to activate the cellular repair processes and promote, better aging. On the same lines, my next key takeaway is that of managing what you eat. Studies have shown that consuming large amounts of animal protein can lead to chronic inflammation, which Dr. Sinclair agrees fuels the aging process. Also, by cutting back on animal protein, you help reduce amino acids in your body, which in turn inhibit a chemical called mTOR that leads to the activation of the survival mode in the cells. Dr. Sinclair also suggests that by consuming colored stress vegetables such as kale, beets, grapes, blueberries, red onions, we're consuming molecules that activate the survival circuit in our bodies, or in other words, help activate the longevity genes. As a tip, if you want to remember what kinds of food to eat, remember that there are 3 colors for bell peppers: orange, red, yellow, and then remember blueberries for blue. These are colors that you want to eat. If you can't even remember that, just remember to eat the rainbow. So the next key takeaway is that of exercise. I have already covered exercise and its benefits in one of my previous videos, but the book also highlights exercise as one of the ways that you can help with the aging process. Dr. Sinclair recommends 30 minutes of moderate exercise every day, and some of his recommendations include high intensity interval training or HIIT, walking, or running. According to Dr. Sinclair, exercise turns or enables the activation circuit or the survival mode and helps with aging. You might remember that as part of my 1-year journey, I'm already doing 30 minutes of exercise daily. So that luckily is aligning in helping my aging process. My final takeaway is that of exposure to cold. Taking cold showers or exposing your body to cold temperatures from time to time helps with the aging process. According to the book, exposure to cold can trigger certain cellular processes that help with the improved longevity and health of your body. Cold exposure can also stimulate an increased calorific expenditure and metabolic benefits that align with the concept of hormesis. I personally like the cold, and my house is generally at 65 degrees Fahrenheit. I've also started to incorporate cold showers from time to time, so if you want to know about that more, please let me know. So those were my key takeaways from the book. All in all, Dr. Sinclair has done a good job in translating complex scientific concepts into simple, accessible language. Overall, the book is well structured and provides a comprehensive understanding of the aging process. The one thing I appreciated is Dr. Sinclair's optimistic tone. While he acknowledges the challenges and uncertainties of the field of aging research, he's hopeful about the potential discoveries and advancements in the near future. I will also reiterate that while the science is promising, it is crucial to acknowledge that it is still evolving and some of the proposed interventions are still in the early stages of research. So practice balance in your approach. Remember Sthirvana. Lifespan takes us on a thought-provoking journey into the science of aging and longevity. It provides us a compelling case for the potential of extending our lifespan and improving our health as we age. While it's essential to go into this book with a critical mindset and an understanding of the ongoing research in this field of aging, it definitely sparks conversations about how we can age gracefully and live longer and healthier lives. The suggestions in the book about controlling the aging process through calorie restriction or exercise definitely aligns with our goals here at Sthirvana to live a balanced life. So let me know in the comments below if you've read the book or are intrigued to pick up the book. Also, don't forget to hit the like button, share this video with fellow knowledge seekers, and subscribe to the channel for more content into exploring the science behind things. Until next time, take care, be present, and work towards Sthirvana.